Welcome to the UC Riverside Botanic Gardens, a 40-acre oasis located on the eastern edge of the UC Riverside campus and just below the Box Springs Mountains on the edge of Riverside. I'm Jodie Holt, the 5th director of the gardens. The gardens were established in 1963, initially as a research garden for faculty at UC Riverside. And through the hard work of a very small staff and a whole series of dedicated volunteers, the gardens grew into this beautiful facility we see today that we all cherish. So the area of the Botanic Gardens was initially mostly shrubland, coastal sage scrub communities. And so most of what you see here has been planted over the last 50 years. The area has a very diverse terrain, and so the gardens has very little flat area. What you see around me here is most of our flat land, and behind me to the south the gardens rise to an elevation several hundred feet above where I'm standing now in a terrain that's quite steep and rocky, and that includes 2 small arroyos. And what that topography and terrain does for us is to produce a series of microclimates that make the gardens suitable for growing a lot of plants here that you might not see in other parts of Riverside. The gardens, we have in our curated collection approximately 3,500 plant species planted in a diversity of gardens, and the gardens can be divided into 2 main types. The gardens that frankly most of our visitors spend most of their time in are themed horticultural gardens, such as our 3 rose gardens, our herb garden, iris garden, a new Native American plants garden, cactus garden, and others. But about half of our developed land is planted in geographic gardens. And these are native gardens to other regions of the world that have arid and Mediterranean climates that are similar to the climate in Riverside, which is why those plants can grow so well here. During a typical year, we have a lot of activities in the garden to engage our visitors, and there are many ways to get involved in the garden. So we offer guided tours, school group tours, adult tours. Normally we have classes, workshops, plant sales, fundraisers, a whole lot of interactive and engaging things for our visitors and members to do. We have a membership program, we have an active volunteer program. So there are many ways to come to the gardens and stay in the gardens and get involved. This year we're launching a new initiative, and that is a whole series of virtual tours of the gardens, so you can enjoy our beautiful gardens from wherever you are, even your own home. So if you check our website, you'll see a new series of virtual interactive story maps, which you can use either in the gardens or at home to give yourself a guided tour through the gardens and learn about the plants that you encounter. And what we're doing right now is launching a new series of short videos focusing on some of the California native plants in the gardens, which are also posted on our website. So for this initiative, I want to thank some volunteers, George Spiliotis, who you will see giving the little tours that follow my introduction. And George is an expert on native plants, a gardens volunteer and steward and trained docent. I also want to thank volunteers Jim and Claudia Clark, our videography team, without whom none of these videos would have been possible. So I want to turn the show over to them, and I want to encourage you to visit our website often and look for new content, which we will continually post. We hope you enjoy these videos.